personal space. If you insist on approaching, you may provoke an aggressive response. Usually, when a bear becomes aware of you, its most common response is to move away. The safest thing to do after the bear has moved on is to leave the area. If you must continue, give the bear some time. Proceed with caution, stay alert, and make noise.
Hey, bear.
If you hear bear vocalizations or see young bears on the ground or in a tree, be extremely cautious and leave the area silently the way you came. What do you do if a bear approaches you? A bear approaching you is a more serious encounter. Your best response is to stop for a moment. Stay as calm as possible and quickly assess the situation. Is the bear acting defensively or in some other way? Don't run unless safety is near and you're absolutely sure you can reach it. Climbing a tree can sometimes be an option, but is still no guarantee of safety.
Take it easy.
Group together if possible. Prepare your deterrent.
Stop there.
It's very important to understand the difference between defensive bears and those with other motives, because your responses will be different from this point on. What do you do when you're facing a defensive bear? A defensive bear is a stressed bear. You have entered its personal space and the bear perceives you as a threat. The bear may retreat or remain nearby, nervous and uncertain. It may approach you or charge. Whenever a bear approaches or charges, stand your ground. This may be difficult. Facing a defensive bear can be a terrifying experience. But physical contact is rare. Most charges stop short.
Hey, bear. It's okay.
Try to appear non-threatening.
Stay there.
Talk to the bear in a calm voice. This may reassure the bear as well as yourself.
Stay there.
Don't shout or throw anything at a bear acting defensively.
It's okay.
It may provoke an
It's
attack.
good. You go away. It's all right.
When the bear is not moving towards you, cautiously try to increase your distance, keeping your eye on the bear. Remember, you have entered its personal space. Increasing your distance is the best way to resolve the situation. Usually, the bear will calm down as you retreat. If the bear continues to advance, stop.
bear, you stay back
Continue
there.
to stand your ground. Keep talking calmly.
Go back.
If it stops its approach, try again to increase your distance. If you have a deterrent, such as bear spray or a firearm, use it as a last resort if the bear charges and appears intent on contact. An attack is when a bear physically contacts you.
No, bear.
If it's a defensive attack,
Go.
fall
bear.
to the ground
Go,
as
bear.
close to the actual contact as possible. Lay on your stomach with your legs spread slightly apart. Lock your fingers behind your head. This position will protect your face and neck. Bears often focus defensive attacks on a person's face if unprotected. If the bear flips you over, continue rolling until once again your stomach and vital organs are protected against the ground. If you've kept your pack on, it may provide some protection for your back and neck. Do not struggle or cry out.
Typically, a defensive bear will stop attacking once it thinks you are no longer a threat. When the attack stops, remain still, wait for the bear to leave. If you start moving before the bear is gone, it may resume its attack. If an attack is prolonged, it's no longer acting defensively.
What do you do when a bear approaches you in a non-defensive manner? A bear that deliberately approaches you showing little or no stress is not acting defensively. It may have other reasons to approach you. The bear is either curious, human habituated, food conditioned, asserting dominance, or possibly predatory. The way these bears approach may appear similar, but your best response to all of them is the same. Stop.
Hey, bear.
Remain as
Okay,
calm as
bear.
possible and
Go,
talk
bear.
to the bear in a firm voice.
All right, bear.
Assess
stand
the
here.
situation.
Okay. Okay, bear.
Try to move well away from the bear's path or trail. That may be all it wants you to do. Watch the bear.
Okay.
If it follows with its attention directed at you, stop. Stand your ground. At this stage, all but an aggressive or predatory bear would most likely have abandoned its advance. You could now be in a dangerous situation. A bear that is initially curious or testing you may become predatory if you do not stand up to it. Now is the time for you to act aggressively. Let the bear know you will fight if attacked. The more the bear persists, the more aggressive your response should be. Shout at the bear, stare it in the eye, challenge it. Make yourself look as big as possible.
Go.
Stamp your feet as you take a step or two toward the bear. Move slowly uphill of it. Stand on a log or a rock. This is the time to use your deterrent. Threaten the bear with whatever is at hand. Most bears stop short of attack, but they may approach very close. If you can't deter the bear and it attacks, fight. Kick, punch, or hit the bear with whatever weapon is available. Concentrate your attack on the face, eyes, and nose. Fight any bear that attacks you in your building or tent. The two main types of serious attacks are defensive or predatory. A defensive attack is when the bear is trying to remove a threat. In a predatory attack, the bear is intent on eating you. Your initial response should be the same. Stand your ground. If you are unable to deter
bear.
the bear before
Go,
it
bear.
physically makes contact, your response to these two types of serious attacks are different. In a defensive attack, play dead. A predatory attack, fight back. You may be able to drive away an attacking bear from someone else, but if you do this, you risk drawing the attack to yourself.
Go on.
There are tools that can help you to deter a bear. These deterrents include bear spray, firearms, non-lethal projectiles, and a variety of noisemakers. Bear spray has been used to deter bears at close range in a number of situations. It's not 100% effective and should not be a substitute for avoiding an encounter. Make sure you purchase an approved bear spray, not a personal defense product, and carry it ready to use, not in your pack. Keep it handy in your tent at night. Exercise caution. If discharged upwind or in a confined space, bear spray can disable the user. Sprays are only meant to be discharged at close range in the face of an approaching bear. If you intend to carry a firearm, make sure it's adequate. .30 caliber or larger, or a 12-gauge shotgun with rifled slugs. Practice until you can shoot quickly and accurately under stress, and at close range at an object moving rapidly and irregularly towards you. Mentally rehearse the situations where you'd use it. Wounding a bear can make the situation a lot worse. Know the capabilities and limitations of the products you choose. Deterrence can be useful, but should not give you a false sense of security. Training and practice are essential. Both bear spray and firearms have regulations governing their transport and use. Consult with local authorities about what is allowed in your area. Most of bear safety is prevention. Avoiding a bear encounter is the best way to stay safe in bear country. Find out what species of bears you could encounter and where they are most likely to be. Learn about their ecology, habits, and foods. When in bear country, stay alert. Be aware of your surroundings. warn bears of your presence. Make lots of noise when necessary, especially when moving through thick vegetation. Sing, talk, clap, or carry a noisemaker. Pay attention to wind direction. Bears downwind are more likely to sense you at a distance. Be cautious in noisy areas such as streams, where chances of surprise encounters are high. Look for signs of recent bear activity. These may include tracks, droppings, evidence of digging, torn up logs, overturned rocks, and claw and bite marks on trees. Be especially careful in the early morning and evening when bears are often most active. On hot days, bears may be resting in cool, shaded areas, such as thick vegetation or near creeks. Foul odors or scavengers may indicate a dead animal nearby. Be extremely cautious. Go back the way you came. A grizzly bear feeding on a carcass is particularly dangerous. Whenever possible, travel in a group. Groups are noisier and easier to detect, and several people are more intimidating to a bear than one or two. Keep children close at hand and in sight. Unless your dog is well trained and accustomed to bears, keep it on a leash or leave it at home. A poorly trained or unleashed dog can bring an angry bear back to you. Don't camp on bear travel routes. Bears usually follow the path of least resistance, along riverbanks, trails, ridges, and lake shorelines. Use local knowledge of bears and recommended camping practices. Your risk and responsibility increase when you enter high-quality bear habitat, especially feeding areas such as berry patches and salmon streams. Many odors attract bears. Don't cook or store food in your tent. Minimize smelly food and garbage. Store all food and garbage so bears cannot smell or reach it. Manufactured bear-resistant food containers have proven effective for camping and are required in some areas. Handle pet food with as much care as your own. If possible, completely burn your garbage in a hot fire. Seal and pack out anything you can't burn completely. Don't bury it. A bear is just going to dig it up. Bears are attracted to petroleum-based products, such as fuels, oils, some plastics, and rubber. Keep these out of reach. There is no evidence that bears are more likely to attack menstruating women, but it's wise to use tampons instead of pads and dispose of them as you would any attractant. Clean and store your cooking utensils and dishes after each use. Dispose of strained wastewater in a small pit dug well away from your campsite. Don't let bears learn human food or garbage is an easy meal. Your safety and the safety of others who follow may depend on your actions. Failure to do this often has serious consequences for people and bears. Tripwires, motion detectors, and compact electric fences can be effective at detecting or deterring bears, but are not a substitute for a clean camp. Be proficient in first aid and carry sufficient medical supplies. Inform others where you're going to be and when you plan to return. Consider two-way radios, cell or satellite telephones to keep others aware of your location. Such communication can save lives.
Oh, bear.
Even if you take precautions, you may still encounter a bear. Be prepared. Consider carrying a deterrent and know how to use it. Your knowledge of bear behavior and motivation and your responses to them can influence the outcome of the encounter. Now, let's review your response to bear encounters. Identify yourself as human to bears you cannot avoid by talking and slowly waving your arms. Try to give the bear your scent. Increase your distance from the bear, even if it appears unconcerned. Do not run. It could invite pursuit. If a bear approaches you, stand your ground. Quickly assess the situation. Is the bear behaving defensively or in some other way? Remain calm. Attacks are rare. Do not run unless you're absolutely sure of reaching safety. Prepare your deterrent. If the bear is approaching in a defensive manner, try to appear non-threatening. Don't shout at the bear. Talk to the bear in a calm voice. If the bear stops its approach, increase your distance. If the bear resumes its approach, stand your ground. Keep talking calmly and prepare to use your deterrent. If the bear cannot be deterred and is intent on attack, fall to the ground as close to contact as possible and play dead. When the attack stops, remain still and wait for the bear to leave. If an attack is prolonged or the bear starts eating you, it is no longer being defensive. If the bear approaches in a non-defensive manner, talk to the bear in a firm voice. Try to move away from the bear's travel path. If the bear follows you with its attention directed at you, stop. Stand your ground and prepare to use your deterrent. Act aggressively toward the bear. Shout. Make yourself look as big as possible. If the bear attacks, use your deterrent and fight for your life. Remember, if an attack is defensive, play dead. If it's predatory, fight back. Though bears rarely attack people, they can be dangerous. Treat them with caution and respect. Learn as much as possible about bears and how your behavior can prevent problems. The safest thing to do when in bear country is to avoid all encounters with bears. Most of safety is preventing encounters. Stay alert and be aware of your surroundings.
Get over here.
Don't surprise bears. Warn them of your presence.
Hey, bear.
Choose campsites carefully. Keep a clean camp free of attractants. Move away undetected from bears that are unaware of you or distant. Bears are an important part of our natural heritage. By learning about their behavior and habits, people can avoid situations that endanger themselves and bears. This knowledge can help us appreciate and enjoy bears and the places they live. It may also reduce some of the human intolerance so detrimental to these majestic animals.